Hey everybody, Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard here. So one thing that's really cool about being me is that Hollywood is well aware that I like movies. So every year for my birthday they try and come out with a big movie just for me as kind of a little present and thank you for seeing all their movies. I had The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, Inception, 500 Days of Summer, what else? Captain America, the first Avenger. Hell, when I was born, Revenge of the Nerds came out. So, I always get a movie for my birthday. And this year, Marvel gave me Ant-Man as my present. And what do I think? It was awesome! So, I'll start off by saying this is the funniest Marvel movie that they've done so far. Funnier than Iron Man 1, funnier than Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a great movie. And it's also kind of cool. Marvel's not just doing normal superhero movies as much. They're kind of trying to twist them a little. Like, the Winter Soldier was more of a political thriller. Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, was a space opera. And this is a heist movie. And it was great. Did a great job at it. It was fantastic. So let's break down some of the characters. So we got Michael Douglas playing Hank Pym. He did a really good job. He's like used to be a superhero and now he's not. And it's kind of interesting how they kind of start filling in these gaps between stuff that's happening in Agent Carter and Iron Man, because there's a big gap in between there where I guess nothing happened, but now they're showing that things did happen. And he plays a great kind of old mentor figure, and there's some things they missed with him, which I'll get when I do spoilers, but I think they did a really good job. He was really well done. So Paul Rudd, again, is fantastic. You can't not like Paul Rudd. He's like one of the most charismatic actors ever. So, and he did a great job. He was kind of witty but interesting, and he just did a really good job. Hope Van Dyne, which I can't think of the actress's name right now, was fantastic as the female lead. She was never really a damsel in distress. I really like when they don't do that with women characters. And she was a well-rounded, interesting character. So Judy Greer's in this movie again in a really small part, just like in Jurassic World. It's really weird. Why do people keep using Judy Greer and then put her in these small roles? She's awesome. If you have her, use her. She should have been way more in this movie. She is just so awesome. The low point would be the villain. He was a little weak. It seemed more like the build-up was to the heist, but then they had to throw in this superhero kind of big ending where he had to fight a villain, and that was kind of weak. The cameos were all good. What else we got? And all Scott Lang's buddies were hilarious and great. And they really balanced the humor really well. Like, I think almost every joke landed really well, and it made this a very enjoyable movie. Which leads me to a theory that I'm having about Marvel movies. And let me explain that to you. It is now time for Intellectual Matt's unsubstantiated theories about things and stuff. Oh, hello there. I was just reading one of my many leather-bound books. So you want to know about the theory of Marvel quality? The theory states as this. If Marvel has to prove something to the world, they make a, quote, kick-ass movie. But if it's something that should easily be done well that everyone will love, they will suck balls at it. Here are some examples of this theory. When Marvel first started a studio and decided to use Iron Man, a not very popular character, they had to prove not only could they be a good studio, but take a hero who sucks donkey balls and make him accessible to the world, and they did very well. Then with Avengers, they had to take heroes from all different movies and bring them together and not just make it be a giant clusterfuck or just be the Iron Man show. Well done again, Marvel. Well done. With Captain America Winter Soldier, they had to prove Captain America was much more than just a super gymnast. And they had to prove why Captain America has been popular for so many years. In Guardians of the Galaxy, they had to take a not very popular 80s comic starring a talking raccoon, a green lady, and a walking tree and make it good. Again, well done, Marvel. The flip side of this are movies like Iron Man 3. After the success of Avengers, it should have been simple to make a movie with everyone's favorite superhero, Iron Man. It didn't go too well. It didn't go. And then again, Thor the Dark World. Everyone loved Loki after Avengers. But, again, they could not pull it off. And Avengers Age of Ultron. We all love the Avengers, so this should have been an easy one. And again, they missed the mark. One more quick example. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That should have been everyone's favorite TV show, but alas, it was not. Do stop by again. This has been Intellectual Matt's unsubstantiated theories about things and stuff. I think Ant-Man, they had to prove that this wasn't a silly little character, and so they put a lot of work into it. You can kind of see where they had some troubles in there, and I'm not saying this is the best Marvel movie. I'll get to my rating on it, but there was some troubles where you can tell where they switch, because they did switch writers and they switched directors, and you can kind of see where some of that hit and missed. But I still think this is a very, very strong movie. I would dare say that it was better than Age of Ultron, definitely. It's kind of interesting how it's had a really, really small opening. From what I heard, it's the smallest Marvel opening since Incredible Hulk. And I think they didn't sell the idea to enough people of Ant-Man. And I think the fans are enjoying it, but the fans are going to see it no matter what. So it's getting the people that don't always see movies into the theater, and they didn't really do that very well. And I think it was just sort of the marketing stuff. They started, right before it came out, they started doing a lot more, but they could have built it up to a lot more. So, spoiler stuff. Stop here for spoilers. Or, skip right here to my conclusion. So the main thing that they missed with Hank Pym is in Age of Ultron, they could have tied him into making Ultron, because not just because it would make me right in some of my predictions, but because if they kind of stole his technology to make Ultron, that would explain more why he doesn't want people to have his shrinking technology as well. I mean, it sort of explained how it's kind of this ultimate weapon, and he doesn't want that to get out. That makes sense, but he kind of just jumps like, I don't want anyone to ever have this. And it'd be kind of better if, something did get stolen and it sucked. So now, he really doesn't want that. And that's what I think something they could have done with Hank and kind of failed and missed. The end credits things were fantastic. So there's two. One shows the Wasp costume, and that looks great, and I can't wait to see that. And the other was kind of a hint at Civil War, which was really, really cool. I like that one. Other spoiler things is the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, has kind of a brief cameo, and her costume though looks great. It's like almost comic accurate, yet still being believable that Hank invented both these costumes, and it's just really, really well done. I love explaining the microverse, although they couldn't call it the microverse for whatever reason. But I love that they're kind of going into that. And maybe you'll see more Ant-Man stuff in a microverse, so that'd be cool. The Falcon cameo was great. That was a great fight scene to kind of show, kind of mix him into the universes more. Because sometimes in these post-Avengers movies, they're missing how these all mix together. Because why didn't somebody step in here? Why didn't somebody step in here? And so it's kind of cool they're kind of getting that and mixing it in, and that was great. Falcon was fantastic. The action scenes again were amazing, and so yeah, this is a great movie. So to sum up, fantastic movie, and I'm actually going to give you a real rating this time, just because this is the end of Phase 2, and I like to rate things. So my Phase 2 just movies, because if you were to mix Daredevil and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it would throw things off a bit. So I'm just going to do movies. So how I rate Phase 2 movies is number 1 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Definitely the best movie in Phase 2. Number 2 is Captain America Winter Soldier. Just fantastic. And then that's where Ant-Man's going to go. Ant-Man's the third best movie in Phase 2. And then you got Avengers Age of Ultron. And then Thor the Dark World and Iron Man 3. So they kind of jumped up in quality halfway through Phase 2. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Phase 3. I'm really excited. And this is really well done movie. If you haven't seen it, go see Ant-Man. It is fantastic. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again.